Hi, it's Nikki here and welcome to episode 2 of 4 of our Curious L&D Conversations, which is all about training without a training budget. We're running through 10 top tips over this 4 episodes. And in this one, we're focusing more on communication for managers, which is what my little bod people are representing. So let's get straight into it then. Tip 3 for me is getting your managers to run daily briefings. Most managers will be happy to run a team meeting and to get involved in their own managers meetings. And sometimes, on occasion, they might do a daily briefing. But to do a regular briefing every single day, actually, what it does is it makes your managers think more about what they need to talk about. So let's look at some of the skills that are actually involved in this. So first of all, if I'm going to hold a regular meeting, when do I need to hold it? When is everybody in? So I need to be aware of the rota, holidays, if there's a shift pattern that's involved. So there's a little bit of task management that's involved in that. Secondly, what am I going to talk about? So is there stuff that's actually off the table that I shouldn't be talking about because it's embargoed? So I can't talk about that, but there's bound to be rumours. So how do I broach that? Is there stuff that you do want to talk to them about? So how are you going to put that across to make sure that they are really clear that they've got it? How are you going to deal with people who turn up late to the briefings? There's lots of interpersonal skills in this as well, but also thinking about how do I deliver it? Are we going to be very informal and sit down? Are we standing up? Are we going into a meeting room? All this stuff allows your managers to really start to think and plan, and then hopefully deliver information which will allow their team to feel valued. So that's tip number 3, is get them to hold daily briefings with their teams. Tip number 4 then is hot desk chairperson. I need to change the title of that, it's ridiculous. So all I basically mean is that when a manager attends their own managers meetings, so say a senior manager has got all their managers together, so it's all peers that are in the room, 9 times out of 10 the senior manager will actually be the chairperson. My suggestion is you have your managers be the chairperson on a rotated basis so they all get the chance to do it. Because now we're not talking about conversing with your team, you are now conversing with your peers. So it's a very different approach. So again, simple things like some task management stuff. Are they going to put an agenda together for it? What should be on that agenda? How are they going to make sure it runs to time? When they are pulling together action points, how will they make sure that those action points are then followed up? So there's a whole bunch of different development skills there for a manager that links into communication, but it's around their peers, dealing more with their peers. And the last one that I've got for you for today is tip number 4, is actually about managers taking them outside of their normal environment. So when I used to work in corporate world, everything was about that company that I worked in at the time and very little else unless it was to do with the professional body of learning and development. But I've been involved in an awful lot of business networking over the last few years that I've actually had my own business. And what I found with business networking events is that you get to talk to so many different types of people. Whether you like networking or not, it really hones your communication skills, your listening skills, your questioning skills. And also it hones, what do I do? Because people will ask you that. They ask you, what do you do? And you think, okay, so how do I put that into a sentence? So that's a whole nother set of skills, that whole kind of networking, being able to promote what you do and your company too. 3 very simple tips for managers to increase their communication. So the first one was about holding daily briefings. The second one was about being the chairperson on a rotated basis within a peer meeting. And the third one was about getting out of the company and doing some business networking and bringing the learning from that back into the business. If you want to hear the rest of these top tips, then the easiest thing to do is subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you will get the next batch as and when they are delivered. Hope you're finding these useful, and I'll see you on the next one.